The Department of Homeland Security, DHS, is permitting Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, officials to reassess the parole status of migrants who entered the U.S. through a significant expansion of humanitarian parole initiated by the Biden administration, potentially facilitating their swift removal from the country. In an internal memo dated Thursday and obtained by Fox News Digital, Acting DHS Secretary Benjamine Huffman outlined actions taken this week to lift restrictions on expedited removal, which allows for the rapid deportation of recently arrived migrants who do not seek asylum or fail to meet initial criteria. This authority can now be applied anywhere in the U.S. for migrants who have been in the country for less than 2 years. The new memo indicates that with these expanded powers, any immigrant known to DHS who could be subject to expedited removal, but has not yet been, should have their case evaluated to determine whether expedited removal should be applied. The memo was initially reported by the New York Times. It states, this may include steps to terminate any ongoing removal proceedings and/or any active parole status. Additionally, the memo specifies that for any immigrant who was granted parole under a policy that was paused, modified, or terminated by the Trump administration, officers can decide whether to initiate removal proceedings and review the individual's parole status to assess if it remains appropriate given any changes in legal or factual circumstances. It also clarifies that parole is a positive exercise of enforcement discretion that no individual is entitled to, and that parole shall not be regarded as an admission of the alien. This implies that migrants granted parole at ports of entry after scheduling appointments through the CBP One app, or those who received travel authorization under the parole processes for Cubans, Haitians, Nicaraguans, and Venezuelans, CHNV, could be at risk of removal. The administration has also introduced parole programs for nationals from Ukraine and Afghanistan. Approximately 1.5 million migrants were admitted through CBP One and CHNV, both of which were terminated by President Donald Trump on his first day in office. The Biden administration has stated that these expanded lawful pathways aim to decrease illegal crossings, while Republicans have accused the administration of misusing limited parole authority and allowing migrants who should not have entered legally. Huffman's memo follows an earlier directive in which he called for a review of parole usage. The memo emphasizes that the statute requires the authority to be exercised on a case-by-case basis, a point that Republican critics argue has been mismanaged by the administration. It stresses that parole is a limited-use authority, applicable only in a very narrow set of circumstances, and asserts that it has been repeatedly abused by the executive branch over the past several decades in ways that are blatantly inappropriate. The memo states that the parole statute does not permit categorical parole programs that automatically qualify aliens based on broad criteria, as this is inconsistent with the law. It instructs the leaders of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, and Customs and Border Protection to create a comprehensive list of existing instructions, policies, and procedures related to parole. Review them and develop a plan to eliminate any that do not comply with the statute. This memo is part of a series of actions taken by the administration regarding illegal immigration, which includes deploying military personnel to the border, halting refugee resettlement, constructing the border wall, and initiating a large-scale deportation operation. On Thursday, ICE conducted raids across the U.S., resulting in the arrest of over 530 undocumented immigrants. While agents are prioritizing individuals deemed public safety threats, officials have indicated